we have already discussed about the photosynthesis process. We have discussed about the chlorophyll structure and all. Okay. So today we will have the new topic. We will discuss a new topic, that is the heterotropic nutrition. Okay. So here, as we are discussing about the plant life, here we will discuss about only plants. And in our last discussion, we have done the autotropic nutrition for plants. How plants undergo autotropic nutrition by the process of photosynthesis. So whenever we are talking about the heterotropic nutrition for plants, means here we are talking about some of the plants who all cannot undergo photosynthesis, and if they undergo photosynthesis, then also they have a deficiency of some nutrients, and then they also undergo heterotropic nutrition. So heterotropic nutrition means it is a kind of nutrition in which an organism depends upon other organism for its food. We all are heterotrophs. We cannot prepare our own food. We depends upon the plants and we also depend upon animal for our food. Like some are herbivores and some are carnivores, and some are also omnivores, who all have both who all we can take both plants and animals. Okay, that part in animal part we will discuss later on. Here today we will discuss about the heterotropic plants. Heterotropic plants means those plants who all do not bear chlorophyll. That's why they cannot undergo photosynthesis, and that's why to satisfy their food requirement they will depend upon other organisms for their food. Okay, that's why they are known as the heterotropic plants, or that kind of nutrition is also known as heterotropic mode of nutrition. Okay, so let us discuss the topic in a broader term. So whenever we are talking about the heterotropic plants, we will find some of the plants which are heterotrophs by their nature. We can find the parasitic plant, we can find the saprophytic plant, symbiotic plant, and insectivorous plants. So let us discuss it one by one. The first one is the parasitic nutrition or the parasitic plants. What do you mean by a parasite? Parasite means an organism which feed on the body of other organism, and it will take the nutrition from the other organism and it will harm that organism. For example, mosquito is a parasite for us. It will feed upon our body, it will feed upon our blood, it will take our blood, and it also harms us. That's why mosquito is a parasite. Worms that are present inside our intestine, that are also parasite for us, because the food that we are taking, the nutrients, they will consume the nutrients, okay, and they will harm the growth of our body. So parasites are the organisms which feed upon other organisms. Suppose, for example, let me give you an example. Suppose A is an organism and B is another. Suppose A cannot prepare its own food and it feed on the body of B. Okay, it will feed on the body of B. Either it may feed out of the body or it may feed inside body. As I have given the example of mosquito. Mosquito feed out of our body. Okay, that's why it is known as exoparasite. I am here mentioning two words: exoparasite and endoparasite. Exoparasite means those parasites who feed on out of the body, means they will not go inside the body. Mosquito is an exoparasite for our body. But if you will take the example of the worms that are present inside our intestine, they are the endoparasite. Okay, it is not mentioned, just for your knowledge I am discussing this topic. So whether it may be an exoparasite or whether it may be an endoparasite, it will feed upon host. It will take the nutrients from the host and it will also harm the host body. Means we are the host and mosquitoes are the parasite for our body. Okay, so got the topic. So here we are discussing about the parasitic plants. So some plants are parasitic in nature. They do not bear chlorophyll, and that's why it is very clear they cannot undergo photosynthesis, because for photosynthesis chlorophyll is very much necessary. Without chlorophyll a plant cannot undergo photosynthesis. Already we have discussed in our last topic. So some of the plants, like here I have written one example, dodder. Dodder is a plant which is also known as a parasitic plant. If you all have remembered, we have done this in our class 6th topic. Dodder is a plant which is also known as a parasitic plant. It also bears a root. We call it a sucking root. Okay, and that sucking root is known as Hosteria. If you all have remembered, Hosteria is a sucking root. Means suppose this is the host plant and like this. This is the dodder, which will just wire-like structure, somehow yellowish in structure and yellowish in color, and it will just it will be wrapped around the host plant and it will form a root. Okay, like this it will form a just if you all have observed in money plant, when money plant grows, it will form a root. That is not a sucking root, but dodder plant will produce a sucking root which will suck the nutrients from the host plant. Okay, that's why they are known as the parasitic plant, and gradually by sucking the nutrients of the host plant, they will make the host plant die. Okay, that is the work of the parasitic plant. Here I have discussed only one example. You can find some more example and you can share with me. Okay, next, saprophytic nutrition or heterotropic nutrition also you can say. Saprophytic nutrition means some of the organisms who feed on dead matter, they are known as saprophytes. Okay, and saprophytic nutrition, in saprophytic nutrition, organisms feed on the dead matter or dead organism. They will convert the complex organic matter into simple form, and in turn they will also recycle the nutrients. Okay, how? Just I will discuss. Here I have written one example, Indian pipe. Okay, Indian pipe is an example of saprophytic plant which do not have chlorophyll. That's why it is somehow whitish in structure, color. It do not looks green as it don't bear chlorophyll, and it grows on such a soil where it can get adequate amount of dead leaves and barks. Okay, so it feed on the dead leaves and barks. So the dead leaves and barks that must have the organic content, as plant is preparing food. All the parts of the plant, it got the organic content, leaves, barks, roots, all of the things that we are talking about. So when the leaves will fall down, that organic content of the leaf will be broken down by the saprophytic plants. They will break down the complex organic part of that dead matter, and they will convert that complex organic nutrient into simple organic nutrient, and they will feed on that organic nutrient. And by this they are also giving nutrient to the host plant. Means suppose this is a host plant, and here we got some dead leaves, okay, and barks down. Okay, here we got some dead leaves and barks, and as here we are talking about the Indian pipe, I am giving you the example of Indian pipe only. Okay, so Indian pipes are the plants which are also known as the saprophytic plants. What it does, it will break down the complex organic matter present in the dead leaves and barks. Okay, and it will convert it into simple and that simple organic food will be again taken by the host plant. Got it? That's why it will provide benefit to the host plant. This is the main difference between a parasitic plant and a what? Saprophytic plant. Parasitic plants only harms the plant, but saprophytic plants provide benefit to the plant. Okay? And also they play a very important role in nutrient recycling. Means the nutrient that are produced by the host plant will fall down and it will be consumed by the saprophytic plants. They will convert it into simple food, and that simple nutrient will be again taken by the host plant. That's why the nutrient will recycle. Okay, the nutrient will recycle. It will fall down and again the nutrient will be consumed by the plant. Okay, and it will, and these parasitic, saprotropic plants also helps in cleaning the environment as they feed on the dead matter. We have discussed they have play a very important role in cleaning the environment also. Okay, so here we have discussed the example of Indian pipe. Next, symbiotic nutrition. Symbiotic nutrition means it is a mode of nutrition in which two organisms are associated and both benefits each other. Okay, see, one by one we are moving down. In parasitic nutrition, one organism will feed on another and it will harm the other organism. In saprotropic nutrition, one organism will feed on the dead remaining of other organism, but it will not harm, rather it will provide benefit. Means in saprotropic nutrition, the benefit is provided by the saprotropic plants. And in symbiotic nutrition also, both the organisms mutually benefit each other. Means if here we will take some example, here I have written one example of rhizobium and leguminous plants. Okay, some of the leguminous plants, if you talk about pea. Okay, pea is a leguminous plant. So the roots of the leguminous plants contains one bacteria or one bacterium called rhizobium. Okay, rhizobium is a nitrogen fixing bacteria. All about nitrogen fixation we will have in our last chapter of chemistry, that we will discuss in details. Okay, so this rhizobium helps in the fixation of nitrogen. What is fixation of nitrogen? Already, if you all have remembered, in our chemistry portion I have mentioned that nitrogen is an element which is present in free form in the atmosphere. Means it cannot combine with any other element. That's why plants and animals, they cannot consume nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. But nitrogen plays a very important role for the growth of our body. Do you know? For the growth of our hair and skin, nitrogen is very much essential. We cannot take nitrogen from the atmosphere directly. But from where we are taking? We are taking from the plants. Okay? As we cannot prepare our own food, we depend upon plant. But just think from where the plants are taking nitrogen. As I have mentioned that nitrogen cannot combine with any other element and it cannot be taken from the atmosphere directly. So how plants are taking nitrogen? By the help of these nitrogen fixing bacteria. Here I have mentioned only one bacteria, rhizobium. Okay, Azotobacter also one more example. So rhizobium is a bacterium which helps in trapping the atmospheric nitrogen. It will convert the atmospheric nitrogen into simple nitrogen compound and it will make that nitrogen available to plant. So here I am not discussing in details about nitrogen cycle, as I have mentioned in our chemistry last chapter. I think there we will have a detailed discussion of nitrogen cycle. Here I am not mentioning. Okay, here just remember that these nitrogen fixing bacteria, they can able to take the atmospheric nitrogen and they will fix or they will convert the atmospheric nitrogen into simple nitrogenous compound. is nitrate and nitrite compounds. Okay, and that nitrogen can be taken by the plants, and plants can store that nitrogen as a food product, and the animals, we are taking that food and we can able to get nitrogen. That's why it is very important to take the plant products. Okay, instead of taking animal products, if we will take more plant products, then we will get more nutrient, more nitrogenous supplements to our body. Okay, so this is all about the symbiotic nutrients. Symbiotic nutrient means, again I am repeating, symbiotic nutrition means where both the organisms mutually benefit each other. Okay, here I have given you the example of rhizobium. It will benefit the leguminous plant. How rhizobium will be benefited? They will get shelter. Okay, this rhizobium will get shelter on the root of the leguminous plant. Okay, so here rhizobium will provide nitrogen to the leguminous plant, and this leguminous plant also they will provide shelter to the rhizobium. Okay, so they both will mutually benefit each other. Got it? So here this is the topic that we discussed, that is the symbiotic nutrients. Okay. The next topic, let us discuss the next point, that is the insectivorous plants. Okay. Okay, here for symbiotic nutrition also you may find some more example and you just discuss with me. Okay. One more, I am just giving the hint, mycorrhiza. Okay, just find out what is mycorrhiza and you tell me. Okay. Next, insectivorous plants. Insectivorous plants are the plants who feed on insects. Okay, so these insectivorous plants, they undergo both photosynthesis and they also feed on insects. Okay, how means they bear chlorophyll. During the daytime they undergo photosynthesis and they can prepare their food, but they do not have, they generally grow on a soil which do not have the nitrogen fixing bacteria. Means they cannot take the nitrogen. As I have mentioned, plants cannot take nitrogen directly from the atmosphere. That's why some of the organisms plays an important role to provide nitrogen to the plant. So these insectivorous plants, they grow on nitrogen deficit soil. In the soil where nitrogen is not present, means where the bacteria, nitrogen fixing bacteria are not present. So to fulfill their nitrogen requirement, they feed on insect. So just keep it in mind, insectivorous plants do not only feed on insects, they both undergo photosynthesis and also feed on insects. Okay, so here's some examples I have written: peacher, bladder rot, Venus flytrap and sundew. So these insectivorous plants, they will modify their leaf in such a way that they can trap the insects very easily. If you talk about peacher, the leaf is peacher shaped. Okay, peacher shaped leaf, so that they can easily trap the insect. Bladder rot, their leaf is like a door, like an open door. Okay, as it can open and it can close. Okay. Venus flytrap, it is just like a hinge. Okay, hinge like structures. Hinge like structures. Okay. And sundew also have some sticky substance over it, so that when sundew is it will have it will produce a flower. Okay, which have a sticky substance over it, and when insects will come for the search of the nectar or for the search of the honey, they will stick on the flower and the flower will close. Okay, this is all about the heterotropic nutrition or the heterotropic plants. So again, go through the topic, again just revise it, just go through your book. If any more doubt, if you will find, then just ask me. I will clear all the doubts, and these all topics are very important. Again, go through the book. In the next topic, we'll move on to the in the next class we will move on to the next topic, and then we will have some more interesting discussion. So till now, goodbye and take care.